Okay, so we're going to use fetch. And you can get fetch if you go to our track site. In the resources section of our track site, there's a folder called software downloads. And that's where you got brackets, right, for your computer. You'll also see fetch FTP software for Mac. If you have a Windows machine, there's FileZilla, and you can use that for Mac or Windows. But I prefer fetch for Mac because it's a little bit simpler. But if you got a Windows machine, you get FileZilla instead. And if you go to fetch, it'll go to a Texas State website where you can get the free download for it, because you usually have to pay for it, but Texas State gives it to us for free if you're a student. Yay. So you'll just follow that link and go to it. Once you're in fetch, you'll open up fetch. And if it doesn't come to this screen immediately, you go to fetch, you go to file, new connection. And you're going to get this little window here. And it's asking for what's your host name. That's like usually your www.whatever.com. That's usually your host name. And then your username, you're going to have a username and a password to get into this thing. So for us, since we're using the Texas State server, you're going to use the server host name is going to be ACWS for academic website .txstate.edu. And then your username and password are going to be your net ID and password for Texas State. So mine's GL16, and I'm not going to tell you my password. But you want to connect, it'll probably be set to FTP. You want to connect with SFTP, that's secure FTP, and that's because our people here on campus are very picky about their security. So secure FTP is better than FTP, so you're going to click that. All right, so we're going to hit connect. So you just put host name is acws.texasstate.edu, your username and password for Texas State, and SFTP. Then you're going to hit connect. And you're going to see some folders, and you've got a website folder right here. So you're going to double click on that, and you're going to have an empty folder with nothing in it. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to go get my website, and I want to drag in. I don't want to drag in my folder with my website stuff in it. I want to drag in my individual images folder, index.js, and style sheet. I don't want to drag in the other folder because then I'd have to add, it's a headache. So just grab these guys. I'm just going to drag them right in to my fetch. And so now I've uploaded those from my machine here all the way up to the server in Derrick Hall. So they're now living on a new machine. So if I make a change to anything on here, I have to say, if I make a change to my index, right, I have to resave it, and I have to re-upload just that index into fetch and replace my index. So if I make changes on my local machine, now I've got to make changes on my server. So far, so good. And I don't have to upload the entire site every time. I just upload just that one file that changed, either my CSS or my HTML. So now how I go see it? I can go to my browser, and I go to awcs.txstate.edu / and then I use the tilde, and that's that shift, and then that's that first key right to the right, right below the escape key. Tilde, and then my username, and then I hit return, and that's exactly what it should happen. No. awcs.txstate.edu. Come on.
Did Fetch actually put it on the server?
I think it did. Did I misspell something? Oh, yeah. Sorry. ACWS, not AWS. Sorry. There you go. Okay. There's my website. This was a janky website from last semester that was half broken. Okay, so if you spell it correctly, it will go to the right website. that's it. So now this is live. I can look at this on my phone. I can look at this on any machine, off campus, on campus, doesn't matter. It's live. Cool. Questions? Not that bad? Okay. What I would suggest, I'm going to stop here.